Firepower Tricksters are the ultimate one-shot merchants, able to burn down elites in a matter of seconds. But with the nerf to pain transfer and the changes to mods like bone shrapnel, can they still deal top-tier AoE damage? Let's find out. The core of this build is a pretty standard looking top tree class tree, which picks up all of the usual weapon damage, close range weapon damage from behind, weapon damage to elites, and skill related buffs to, you guessed it, weapon damage. There is really only one difference from your typical build. This build doesn't use a shotgun.
What?
And that is because of the gear set I'm using that requires the use of an assault weapon to access what is one of the strongest firepower gear set bonuses in the game. More on that very shortly. For the PAX tree I'm picking up damage, which is not really of any use due to its duration being pretty much useless for a Twisted Rounds build. Adaption is a no-brainer, 15% firepower buff, while phasing provides some nice survivability for you and your teammates. Great Expanse is a useful increase to close range and expanding the benefit of all of our close range weapon damage buffs. But the node that is really important to this build is Quantum Entanglement, which provides me with my first source of AoE damage. For my skills I'm using Venator's Knife for its double damage buff, but also for Cut Them Deep, an awesome damage buff for elites, and Hive Cut, my second source of AoE damage. Now you could still run Time Rift for pain transfer, but Cut Them Deep is just a great mod that lets me burn down the Arbiters very quickly. Twisted Rounds provides the firepower buff and also makes enemies' armor irrelevant. This is because round skills are not reduced by armor or resistance at all. In fact, enemies have a third secret stat that is applied to the anomaly infused bullets, which is typically only a few percent. This is the reason why you shouldn't stack armor or resistance piercing for rounds based builds. For my final skill I am picking up Hunt the Prey, which makes me incredibly mobile, gets the most out of weapon damage from behind nodes in my class tree, and through instant reload allows me to keep Twisted Rounds up. I mentioned that I'm using a gear set with one of the strongest firepower gear set bonuses, and that gear set is Maxwell's Demon, which buffs your firepower by up to 100%. On top of that, the attributes on this gear are perfect, with bonus firepower, close range damage, and cooldown reduction. I have to say that the cooldown on all my skills is just great. Around 4 seconds for Venator's Knife and Hunt the Prey, and 11 seconds for Twisted Rounds. Maxwell's Demon armor does come with one other feature. A full stacks burn is applied to me and everything within 15 meters. Another source of AoE damage, which I'm boosting with the mod Bullet Kindling. In addition, Vaccinated means that when this does proc, I take 20% less damage from all sources, which is a nice little survivability buff. Most of my mods are pretty standard firepower buffs: Sharp Eye, Bloodlust, Kingslayer, which is great for the Arbiters and their enormous critical hit points, Personal Space, Dum Dum Bullets, and Anomaly Echo. All of this, along with Captain Hunter, lets me melt elites in a matter of seconds and take down the Arbiters while they're still in their melee phase. I am buffing my AoE damage further through Thunder's Legacy, and on my only weapon, a standard epic submachine gun, Strings of Gauss, and Wrath of Moloch, which synergizes well with Bullet Kindling. Critical points on this weapon is okay, and gets my critical chance up to 30%, increasing the proc chance of Wrath of Moloch, but I would like to try this build with Fatal Symbiont and Dark Sacrifice if one ever drops with the right mods on it. Who am I kidding? The final mod I have in my gear is Damage Absorber, which I find really useful for survivability, and I am carrying one dead mod which I would love to replace with Stare into the Barrel. Ascension Points should be put into close range damage and weapon damage first, followed by damage to elite, critical chance, and critical damage. After that, survivability is your next stop. This build is a great all-round build and will let you finish all of the content with ease. In timed expeditions, it is close to the best AoE builds that I've come up with, and so it's definitely one worth trying out. But if this build is not for you, then check out these two awesome Trickster builds, which are really overpowered.